Southern California. Here we are as we welcome you in tonight's Sunday Night Racing in the Sim 500 FEG Xfinity Series. Auto Club Speedway of Southern California, virtually on iRacing. It is round number 2 tonight as we have left Daytona. And for the first time on the Captain Esports Network, we're not at a super speedway race for the Sim 500. Well, sort of. It's a 2-mile track, so a little shorter than Daytona. But it is, again, the FEG Xfinity Series at Auto Club Speedway, virtually on iRacing. I am the captain, Chris Scala. Welcome in as we have 78-degree weather, beautiful weather in SoCal. And getting ready for a great race. We have 41 cars last checked here, ready to go and ready to put on a show. It is one of the fun tracks that drivers love. And as you might have not noticed from the racing last week in real life, people don't want this to be a short track, and it looks like we are here for the long term on this 2-mile oval. So looking forward to the racing we're going to see here in just a couple of minutes. We have the cars on track right now for qualifying, but we're going to take a look at the point standings after one race, which pretty much images the finish of the race, as E.J. O'Rourke, the winner from Daytona, he is in the playoffs, and he is the leader in points over Tommy Ryan by 4. Anthony Calantoni is third. Chad Coleman, Ron Holyfield, your top 5. Of course, bonus points are in there also from the stage, and so much more. So looking forward to seeing the great action here on track in just moments. Again, qualifying going on. Yeah, and we'll get a heat race, which will have everybody in the race, so we don't have to worry about like somebody being kicked out or whatever, or not making the field tonight. Everybody will race tonight out of the 41 cars that have shown up. Hello, sir. How are you? And yeah, that's it. Let's just get ready to go, right? So let's go down and check in on qualifying. See who's out there on track right now as we speak. Let's check on, I'm just going to pick a driver. How about Mike Montesi? Mike was having a good run last week in Daytona, and unfortunately ran into some issues mid-race, and kind of ended not the way he wanted when it was all over with. Mike in the 6 car. Daniel Falkingham to the top just now as Mike jumps to across the line, and he's 30th right now, going to jump up to 26th. Going to see some familiar names, of course, some newer names that maybe didn't run Daytona last week, and for me, going to see a name from the past. And I'm not talking about Scott Simley. I kind of talked about him a couple times. Him and I used to race back in the day against each other. There's one other name that just joined us tonight that when I saw him on the list, I was like, holy cow. I said some other things, but you can't really say on air what I said. Yeah, I was really happy to see him, and I'll talk about him here in the race. I might even bring him up and interview him because I've always been told in a humble way that I know a lot, and my knowledge is very good on racing from the past and into the future and stuff. Well, there's one guy, if I had to say no, that guy knows more than I do, it'll be this guy I talk about later. Jimmy Coleman crossing the line, 25th right now, jumps up to 19th. So you're seeing a lot of the second lap being faster, which makes a lot of sense because these cars get very loose on their opening lap out here on track. Here's Jose Speedy Gonzalez across the line. He jumps up to 5th. Good lap for him at a 41.92. Jared Edwards, the 45 car. See what he can do here as gets around this very bumpy 2-mile oval. He's actually going to run out of time. So the pole sitter tonight, Daniel Falkingham. So congratulations to him on scoring the pole. And you'll see 9 cars get out here and race for 9 laps in what will be the heat race, not the green-white checker number 2. That's just me not editing my stuff from last week. So cars were all gridding. Let's see how they'll line up. Tad Hutchinson, who actually won the Daytona heat race last week. Scott Stenzel, Joey Jatina, and Jarrett Edwards. Doug Segman, Kevin England, Christopher Williams, Brandon Key, and Dwight Beverly, or DJ, or I've known him as about 4 different names. That'll be the 9 cars that'll take the green potentially here. Well, it's quiet. This is the calm before the storm right here. But this will give me an opportunity. Let's go down here and talk with our pole sitter this evening as I stall. This is what they call stalling in broadcasting. And bring up Mr. Falkingham to the chat. Hello, Daniel. Congratulations on the pole.
Oh, hey. What's up, Bob?
Hi. Good to see you, too. Yeah. Figured I would bring you up here as we get ready to do this heat race. Obviously went out there and laid a pretty good lap down. Can you back it up for 100 laps and get a win?
We're going to try. Definitely got a good shot at starting from P1. And, yeah, definitely a good heck of a lap I put up there. I definitely think that cloud helped out a lot when the cloud came over the track and the track got really shaded. But hopefully we can keep staying out front. Got a lot of tough competition behind me. And, yeah, see what we can do.
Are we expecting this track to do the old Auto Club spread as we're used to seeing in the good old days?
Yeah, track's going to be all about tire wear, managing your stuff. Probably going to be managing the right frontal lock because this thing's just a plow box like it usually is. So I guess this is going to be very spread out. You'll be able to run different multiple lanes because you can rip that wall in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, you might be able to do that as well. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a really good race, I think. It's just hopefully we get a lot of green flag running, but you never know. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, congratulations on winning the pole. We're going to get this little heat race out of the way. Go get yourself something to drink, go to the bathroom, whatever you got to do, and we'll see you back.
I appreciate it, fella.
You too, buddy. Walking in the pole sitter tonight, and we'll kick him down there to the team name. All right, off turn 4. Can Hutchinson go 2 for 2? I'm about to find out. And when I say 2 for 2, I mean in the heat race. As we're green from Auto Club. Oh, one car already getting loose. Jatina down there. Now the 09's going for a ride. Christopher Williams, he saves it, even misses the blue cone, so double points for him. Down the back straightaway. Stenzel already on the back bumper of the 80. See how bumpy this track is. One of the original, actually this is the original surface on Auto Club. It is one of the oldest surfaces that you will see raced on iRacing. Back in 1997 when this track opened up, this was the surface it raced on right here. The only surface older than this in racing right now, when it comes to stock cars, Dover, believe it or not, was paved back in 1995 when it was moved to concrete. Back straightaway, you see Stenzel looking to the bottom and looking for the lead in the 42 car. Edwards having a good run there as Stenzel clears to the front. We'll come to 6 laps to go here. Doug Sigmund in the 04 running here in 5th right now. He's battling. I heard Daniel talk about this plow box. It's another way of him saying the car is going to be very tight in the corners. A professional. He's going to make the pass. Oh, into the wall, Sigmund, and into Beverly. And Beverly goes spinning into the inside wall. And unfortunately, the call 811 before you dig car. We'll start dead last in this race now. So Jared Edwards has moved the P2 behind Stenzel as Hutchinson tries to keep track here. Jatina back there in the 4th position. Key, Sigmund, England, and Williams. Let's we got 5 laps to go in this race. Let's check in. On someone. I'm looking for him. I don't want to spoil it. Never mind, he's not in here. I was going to check in on EJ O'Rourke, see how he's doing tonight, but he's not here in chat, so... Down to back straightaway. Coming to 3 laps to go this time. Tire fall off going to be a big deal here. Look at this, 45 going to jump to the middle groove here and see if he can side draft. Given plenty of room. Oh, contact! Little chrome hornage. Good save by Stenzel. That's going to bring everybody back together. Yeah, I got somebody we can bring up here real quickly. He's not in this race. Let me bring up Jimmy Coleman here real quickly to talk to the man. Jimmy, unfortunately, Daytona is long behind you, and I know you don't even want to think about that again. How do we bounce back tonight after what happened last week?
Yeah, that's true. I really don't. But, no, I'm just playing. Man, everybody worked together. Bigger turnout than I thought, which I'm not complaining. It's just, well, we all just got to work together. I think we can put on a good race, especially with this big of a field. Even this heat race here has been pretty exciting, so I'm looking forward to see how everybody does.
Yeah, we see Edwards just went to the lead here, so he's wonder if Stenzel's going to give him the bumper back. But, no, it's been crazy so far, and obviously what do we expect tonight? Because, I mean, we're going to have a slick track, obviously afternoon settings here, so I think we're going to see this track just spread out.
Yeah, we're definitely going to spread out at first. You'll probably see a couple cars be loose, especially going into the first turn. I mean, that's real loose at the beginning, then it kind of tightens up. You're going to see 2, maybe a 3-wide racing, so it's going to be pretty exciting.
We'll let you go get ready there in the 54 car tonight. Hopefully can go longer than a couple laps, and we'll see maybe get you a good top 10 tonight.
Let's hope so, man. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. You too. Jimmy Coleman unfortunately did not make it in many laps last week at Daytona. My mic is a bit low. All right, let me turn it up. Thank you very much. Is it my mic or was it the interview mic? One thing that's not low is the battle for the win here. Stenzel and Edwards going side by side to the line. Second straight race. Stenzel barely. Wow. 2 100s from what I'm seeing there. Wow, very, very close battle there to the front. So, hey, that could be a sign of things to come tonight. I appreciate those chatting with us here over in the live chat on YouTube. I do look over and answer, try to talk to people as much as I can. Why not? You guys are a part of the show also, each and every week. But, yeah, if there's any issues, something you hear or see, I try to test everything out myself. But I don't catch everything. Thank you. Wonder what. We'll make the adjustments in. And slide myself up a little bit. We'll slide this down a little bit so I don't have the cars speaking over me. Yeah, warm-up laps are going on now, so we'll get ready for the main event here in just a minute. Let's bring Stenzel in the chat here. I'm still learning of who's like in chat and who's not here. I don't see Stenzel anywhere, so. All right, warm-up is over. And let's get ready for some racing here at the Auto Club Speedway of Southern California. Take a look at the starting lineup. For round number 2 tonight is Falkingham on the pole. He'll start alongside the 51 of Justin Fuller. Trey Eidson and Chad Coleman. He'll take row number 2, Jose Gonzalez. In row number 3, he'll start alongside Chuck Sweeting there, the Gator Racing number 57. Josh Adams, Kevin Brown will start in row number 4. Donnie Leah and David Comstock in row 5. Tommy Ryan and Pedro Mojica in row 6. As we take a look at row 7, Bob Gillenwater and E.J. O'Rourke, the Daytona winner, will start there. Row 8, Josh Parker and Doy Woods. Row number 9, Richard Beasley, who had a rough Daytona, and Anthony Calantoni, a top 5 there. Row number 10, Eric Arnold and Jimmy Coleman. Row 11, I should say, 21st position, Scott Simley, Steve Ritter, Chris Jabot, and Charles Woods in row 12. Row 13, Bobby Wetzel and Michael Priester making his debut tonight. Brian Wortman, the gentleman I was talking about, who I remember racing with 10 years ago on here. We'll start alongside Jeff Ryan. J.C. Windsor, Mike Kelly, row 15. Row 16, Mike Mondesi and Michael Ledford. Row 17, Gerald Livingston, Randy Yoakum. Row 18, Mark Creighton and John Fowler. Ron Holyfield, Paul Crumry. Row 19. Row 20, Scott Stenzel, Jarrett Edwards, Brandon Key, Joey Jatina, Ted Hutchinson, your 43 starters for tonight's race. That's called a full field where I'm from. See the cars pacing. Looks like Falkingham has taken the outside groove. As we'll do 100 laps, 200 miles tonight. The 51 and 39 side by side. As the pace car pulls off. Get ready for race number 2 of the FEG Xfinity Series from the Sim 500 Racing from Auto Club Speedway. We're green. Everybody spreading out 2 and 3 wide. You see the 26 diving to the bottom there. Gonzalez trying to move to 3rd, even trying to get a piece of the lead potentially into turn 3. Track very bumpy. And one car way off the track. Tommy Ryan to 99. He's able to save it. And Ron Holyfield on pit road. Not sure what happened to the one car. And Daniel leads lap 1. Of course, our cameras tonight presented by Track Cams 22. You can check them out at Track Cams 4 Gourmet. You can check them out at trackcam22.com. Getting a little backwards, but either way, check them out on the iRacing forums and Facebook and so much more. As Fuller going to the front. However, he's stuck on the bottom here. The draft might push right back by him here. Now, Fuller leads that lap, so good run there by the 7. Now, Holyfield, I'm not sure if that was a penalty or something he had or what happened, but I'll have to see if I can get an update on that from the admins or whatever. 2-3 wide back here as the track's starting to spread out. The 28 back there of... Oh, cars scattering. Look out. Kevin Brown. See the 81 in there also of Josh Parker, Beasley, Doy Woods at 28, as I was starting to mention. As everybody gets settled out. Holyfield back on pit road, so I'm not sure if something's going on there with the one car. But the side-by-side battling more towards the middle of the pack. Is Gonzalez going to dive to the bottom here, go for the front? see Falkingham got past Fuller again. So already seeing what 3-4 lead changes here in the first 4 laps of this race. '26 sliding up, going to open the door here for Fuller to get a good run down the straightaway. We ride with Donnie Lee of the 29 car. Behind that body armor Toyota of Josh Adams. Falkingham able to hold off Gonzalez and lead again. Back there, seeing the 5 car out of line, Chris Jabot in the HendrickCars.com paint. That won, ironically, at this track last week. See the 81 car, a little bit of damage there on Josh Parker. That is going to hurt the aerodynamics there. Now, same as last week, lap number 50 will be the halfway point, which means bonus points to those who finish in the top 10. Look at this back here. Are we on the 10 or are we at Auto Club Speedway? Brandon Key there in the 55-20 of Mark Creighton. Thank you, by the way, for your help with the microphone, Mark. Tommy Ryan, who's already lost 22 positions. Meanwhile, up front, they're at it again. As Justin Fuller inside of Gonzalez. You got the 7 there still of Eidson looking for somewhere to go. And these tires should start to wear. Fuel mileage-wise, about 40 to 45 laps on a tank of fuel, so you'll definitely see a 2-stopper. Chuck Sweeting up there in that 57 car. Right in front of Pedro Mojica. Mojica was part of, unfortunately, the big wreck early in Daytona. Didn't even get a chance really to back up his Super Speedway championship. Roy Woods getting past the Daytona winner, E.J. O'Rourke. That is the 13th position, and he gets a slide with it. This is tight everywhere. Trying to get you all the action everywhere here. Beasley there in the 10. Jimmy Coleman in the 54. The mystery machine there in the 31. Eric Arnold. Of course, as the aerodynamics start to kick in, that's when you'll see cars like Doy Woods jump to the top. And you'll see this high groove kind of start to prevail. I know in the NIS race I ran last week here, it was exactly that way. The top groove came to life, and it was almost the fastest way around, even though somehow I made the bottom work a lot. Up here for second again as the 29 scrapes the wall. Eidson. We ride with Mojica. Riding behind Kevin D. Brown there in that 93 car. Now, one thing I have learned, nobody really does it a lot, but one thing I have done a few times is you see it at this track is a lot of cars will jump down on the apron in 3 and 4. It's early, 26 gets turned. And that's going to bring a caution. Can he keep it down? He will. Jose Gonzalez. That could have been a lot worse than it was. Bringing a caution out for the first time. He and the 57, or the 51, I think, got together. Of Justin Fuller. See if we can roll that beautiful bean footage and see what happened here. You know, that's racing at this track is what that is, because this track is so wide, it's very tough to see all the way around you. Unless you have like triple monitors, you can see both sides of your cars. If you run like on a single or VR, it's very hard to see around you. So unless you have somebody telling you, hey, he's right on your door, then you're taking a chance by moving down the track if somebody's beside you, because you have no clue where they're at. And that's exactly what happened here. Watch the 26. My assumption is if you ask him, he's thinking that the 51's probably lower down the track. So I'm just going to sum that up to miscommunication, we'll call it, I guess. So caution out, lap 12. And leaders coming to pit road right away. Now, one thing is for certain tonight, they do have 3 sets of tires laying in the pits here. So don't be surprised we see a lot of fuel only here. Now, a couple cars, Josh Adams, Steve Ritter, J.C. Windsor all stay out here. Now we're seeing some tires being changed here. So those who are changing tires right now are probably betting this race is going to be a long green flag run. So if you get an opportunity, check out the sim500.com website. It's a really nice website, as a matter of fact, if you haven't had a chance to do so. You can see all the action, all the series. They race 7 nights a week. Every night there's something on the track. If it's the Cup Series that races on Monday, Super Late Models Tuesday, you got Dirt on Thursday, you got a Throwback Series Saturday night. A Friday Midnight Thunder Series. They got it all. Trucks and so much more. You can see 7 nights of racing on different broadcast networks and stuff. From LSR TV to VRN. You got Extreme TV Friday and Saturday nights to, of course, here, the Captain Esports Network on Sunday nights. All right, it's got an interesting message on my phone. Anybody ever get these, like, like these I don't know, I'm getting like these spam alerts on my phone or something. It's kind of weird. All right, pace car is in. That was confusing. As Josh Adams, J.C. Windsor, and Jose Gonzalez stay out here as we go back to the green. Let's see who's got the fresh tires here. If I had to guess, 7th, 8th, 9th of Eidson, Falkingham, and Fuller all took tires here. Sweeting, Simley, and Doy Woods, no tires. So you're going to see a whole lot of stuff here. 4 wide and 1. And this is what happens when you get a whole mix of strategy here. 3, 4, almost 5 wide there mid-pack. We watch Falkingham go up the middle here. The 57 is Sweeting outside. Eidson on the inside. I personally am a fan of the wait to use the tires later strategy. I feel like that it's just going to take one caution, say, in the last 20 laps of this race. And if you pit there at lap 13, you're going to roughly 55 or so, and then you're going to 95. I would much rather do 40, 80, and then maybe have that set of tires for late in the race. But we'll see. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. That's why I don't win many races. Up here at the front, Falkingham going back for it. And to the lead he goes, the fresh tires making the appearance in the front. Oh, there's still 3 wide back here. Can you imagine being in that mess? Now, something tells me if I was a spotter right now, I'd be like, yeah, good luck in there. Mike Kelly there on the bottom in the 2 car, that Verizon Ford. As Steve Ritter coming to pit road in the 16, unscheduled pit stop for him. Not sure if he got a penalty or something. Down the back straightaway into turn 3. Falkingham tries to separate himself from the front of the field here. You see Donnie Lee has moved up to 3rd. Justin Fuller up to 4th. Mojica now up to 5th. Now, Ritter did complete his pit stop. Looks like a 40-second stop, so I'm assuming he might have had some kind of passing under yellow or some kind of a penalty. Oh, trouble in the back. Scott Simley and the 42, the 48 around. Stenzel getting a piece of it. Second caution. And that might make this very interesting now, because I think the window opens now for this to be a one-stop race the rest of the way. Let's see how this all transpires. Oh, one car gets up in the outside wall. Oh, added 20 to the list. 42 just catches a piece of it. And the 5, Jabot does a great job of stopping. Looks like it's the 48 that gets the outside wall, John Fowler. Well, let's ride with Fowler here, see what happens. Oh, he gets a little bit of contact, it looks like, from the back. Oh, and Jabot did get a piece of it, never mind. And Fowler goes for a spin. So the question is, who was the car that caught Fowler from behind? Oh, never mind, he caught the wall. Nobody hit him from behind. Creighton actually did a good job of getting out of it. Gave him the room, and Fowler just caught a piece of the wall. Well, caution number 2 out, and we got tons of cars back on pit road. Bobby Wetzel, Sweeting, Gonzalez, Montesi. A whole bunch of cars getting potentially a set of tires here. Caution number 2 out, lap 23. Ah, all right. Hey, I've been told that somebody wants to come call a race with me. I got a friend. What? Good thing I check my messages every once in a while. Oh, I can't find that friend. Where is he? All right, going to come back to green, so the cautions are going to be short tonight, which is definitely a positive because we like racing. Going to come back to green, lap number 24. Now we really got a whole lot of strategy here going on. We got cars on tires from a few laps ago. Now we got cars on tires from this last caution. So we're really going to see a jumble now as green comes back out. Elevator move by the 7 as he tries to get to the bottom. Now we're going to see how much the patience gets used here. 51 of Fuller. Into turn 3 and 4. Is there 3 wide back here? David Comstock and a lot of cars coming back to pit road. And now caution back out. Actually, there might have been a spin on coming to pit road. So caution number 3 is coming out. And I don't know where it started, but there's Wortman. Caution out for the 3rd time, and as I look over at my timing, something tells me Gerald Livingston might have been involved. So let's go see. Oh, right here. Simley, Livingston, the 1 car also of Holyfield getting a piece. Holyfield got his 2 laps back. He's back on the lead lap now, but that's not the way you want to bounce back. Let's hop here and rewind. Let's see how this all sets up real quick. Not the best race for Simley so far. Oh, right there, Livingston gets loose, collects the 1. And the 12. Let's back up one more time here, and let's we'll go to Livingston and see what starts to spin here. Oh, actually gets in the back of Ritter. So that's what brings the caution out here. So caution number 3, lap 27. And this gives me the opportunity to talk about the Ford Entertainment Group. Of course, they specialize in sim racing and sim flight gaming machines. Over 3,500 PCs built for sim racers and sim flight pilots. All of FEG's PCs come from front to back warranties on every part, as well as free labor. Everything is covered PC. That is the Ford Entertainment Group. Of course, this season they are giving away a pretty big prize. A Fanatec CSL Direct Drive is what is being given away to the driver that completes the most laps this season. Doesn't have to win the most races, doesn't have to win the championship, doesn't have to spin out the most times. You have to run the most amount of laps to get this prize. All right, so we're going to get side by side here and get back going. And what has been a pretty wild race so far. Pace car bringing him to the green. As we get ready to go green lap number 28. As Falkingham's led the majority of the laps so far. Fuller, Eidson, Lee, and Brown. Kevin being very quiet there, running into 5th position right now. And here we go, green flag back out. Everybody 2 by 2. All the different tire strategies now. course, probably got some people getting frustrated with each other now, so just got to, well, now caution's right back out for the 20 car. Mark Creighton in the outside wall now. So fourth caution comes out here. What happened to Mark? Oh, contact with the 1, I think that is. Oh, nope, that's a 9. I say the 1 because we're used to seeing a Pennzoil car on the 1 in those kind of colors. But Creighton and it looks like the 9 of Bobby Wetzel coming together. And fourth caution on track. Wonder if there's, again, that whole communication thing of not knowing where people are on track. Unfortunately happening. So lap number 30 out in caution for the fourth time. They get behind the pace car here. So this kind of, as I do the math here, really sets up the one-stop strategy now. If we get a chance to get the long green flag running, as a lot of cars coming in to get damage fixed. Wetzel there involved in that Pennzoil number 9. And it looks like the 9 is taking his car behind the wall. So that's going to put now 4 cars I'm seeing off the track. Jabot has not come back on. He's been out since about lap 23. Creighton behind the wall in the 20 car. Simley still there getting damage fixed on the 12. Holyfield still out there digging. Let's the lights are on the pace car. If we get another caution, I'll talk to a driver here, but biggest mover so far in the race. How about Brandon Key here, the 55 car, with the 4 cautions now, has moved up from nearly dead last to 17th in the 55 car, so he's doing a great job tonight. Let's see who else we got here. Joey Jatina, the boss man, up 22 spots. He's from 42nd to 20th. Definitely seeing our list of comers and goers here as we get ready to go back to green. Third distance in this Ford Entertainment Group Xfinity Series Sim 500 Racing League from the Virtual Auto Club Speedway here on iRacing. As Falkingham, Fuller, Eidson, Lee, and Brown lead him to the green. Down the back straightaway, they fan out 2-3 wide. Seeing some overcast start to come over the track a little bit. Good news is there's no such thing as rain in iRacing, or snow, I guess, apparently, like we saw in Vegas. As Steve Ritter back to pit road. I'm assuming there's a black flag or something there. That's why he's coming to pit road, because he wasn't able to pit during the caution. That's usually what that means. Brandon Key here. Look at this. One car out of shape there to 31. Everybody zigging and zagging. 3 and 4 wide. Now be very patient getting back to the gas as Brandon Key continues to roll through the field here. And Ritter, a 40-second pit stop. That tells me speeding on pit road. Some drivers making mistakes on pit road tonight. So it looks like the top 10 or 11 cars all single file. This is your first side-by-side battle with Calantoni in the 84, Tommy Ryan there in the 99 to 31 of Eric Arnold. This car's roaring around here at about 190 miles an hour or so. Look at that, 4 wide down the back. '81 getting back up here into the battle now. Josh Parker probably got the damage fixed on that Haas Automation car, and now looking pretty sporty in that Ford. Up front, the top 6 or 7 have stayed about the same. Back here's the Hornet's Nest. There's the front. You see the, I'd say, first 10 to 15 cars. Oh, is Leah going to catch the wall? Is Eitzen going to get by? Pedro Mojica also in the 58 going to get by potentially. Now these cars are made of the composite bodies, so it takes a little bit of a harder lick to affect these cars. We go back and check out this 81 as we talked about him getting into the outside wall a little bit ago in that 81 car. Josh Parker actually is the defending winner of this race. Won it in the 2021 season. So Parker unfortunately got a little bit of an uphill climb. Oh no, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Parker won in Homestead. Ryan Howard won the Auto Club race. Ryan is not here tonight. I forgot Homestead was the second race last season, wasn't it? Oh, actually, it was the Daytona Road Course, but then Homestead. This is the 3rd season. At least according to Dan Lisa, I'm sure they've done actually more, but everybody's starting to Looks like calmed down, getting to a rhythm after 4 cautions in the first 32 laps. But to make it even more impressive how many cautions came at one time there, the first one came at 13, so that's 19 laps with 4 cautions. Riding on board with the Tide Ride, Richard Beasley. Let's check out some speeds here. Mid 150s in the draft down the back straightaway here. At 182 miles an hour. We should see the big speed right here. It's the longer straightaway of the two. About 187 miles an hour or so into the corner, so makes sense. So taking a look through the field here, the biggest mover on the cars that pitted back at the lap 22 caution, Doy Woods is up to the 16th position right now. Everybody else in this pack pitted at the lap 13 caution. So they, I'm expecting in the next, matter of fact, let's just let the pit strategy board tell us. Here you see the top 14 cars all pitted at 13. I'll actually boost that number up a little bit more for you to see. There's your separation right there of the cars that pitted at 13 and the separation at 22. You'll be able to see who pitted when and when to expect them back on pit road. Potentially get tires as the 4 leaning up there against the 38 of Coleman. Gillenwater there in the 4. We'll check back on the strategy here in just a little bit. Now remember, we do have 7 laps to go here in the stage as Falkingham's starting to put a little distance on Eidson there, about 4/10. It's the biggest lead anyone's had in this race, which kind of reminds me of last week again. In the Cup race, the biggest lead anybody had all day was 1.5 seconds. Down the back straightaway, you see the 4 and the 13 back there racing pretty hard. Gillenwater, Comstock, Chad Coleman, these guys all fighting pretty hard. At Beast TV, Gillenwater. I've enjoyed getting to know him pretty decently. A lot of these guys I've gotten to know pretty decently. Still got plenty of time, obviously, in our workings together. One thing's for sure, they definitely have a really big community here in the Sim 500 series. And Falkingham continues to hold about 4/10 right now. Back here, Daytona winner O'Rourke inside of Beasley. This is for the 8th spot. 7th and 8th on the line there. Coleman right behind him. O'Rourke going to make the pass. Almost looked like a super speedway move right there. And look at Kevin Brown. Racing Pride Supra. About said Camry. Shame on me. Beasley starting to slide back just a little bit here. You see Fuller. He's gone by into 51. There's O'Rourke as Beasley scrapes up the outside wall. Very easy to do around that part of the track. 3 laps to go in the stage. And again, points from 10 down to 1, crowned at lap 50. Completion of lap 50. As they come off turn 4, Eidson still 4/10 back. Mojica back up to the 3rd spot now. As these guys fight out for bonus points that could come crucial when it comes to playoff time later this season. As they go by the, oh, now win the lap car. It's the 7 car up at the top. I haven't seen anybody really up there much. I thought it was a lap car. My bad, Trey. Mojica moving up to the 2nd spot. Leah going by for 3rd. Brown the 4th. As Eidson trying to do something with this top groove. As they get to the final lap here of the stage. Eidson has fallen all the way back to the 6th spot now. So that top groove not cooperating with him. As Brown trying to get 3rd from Leah. Well, I think it's pretty clear who's going to get the 10 points for winning a stage. That is going to go to Daniel Falkingham as he scores the stage win. Mojica 2nd. The battle for 3rd goes to Donnie Leah, who gets help from O'Rourke. Eidson clearing out the Larson lane up there, see if it works for him. The 7 doing all he can up there right now. Trying to get the momentum rolling. Josh Adams of 56 has come to pit road. That might actually be a scheduled pit stopping for the first time today on pit road for him. Because I don't see any registered pit stop for him at all today. So that's pretty impressive to go 51 laps on a tank of fuel with the way the cautions have fallen for him. As the battle still continues here for 3rd. As O'Rourke, the Daytona winner, to the bottom of Donnie Leah. Kevin Brown also a part of this battle. O'Rourke going to slide up in front of the 29. Again, next week, next Sunday night, we'll be in Las Vegas, the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway, for round number 3 of this Ford Entertainment Group Xfinity Series. Looking forward to being a part of it with you. We'll be on the air as usual, 8:45 Eastern Time. now we're at the part of the race where the handling really is coming in. You're starting to see those comers and goers throughout the field. You see Eidson has fallen all the way back to 9th now after testing out that top groove. So, hate to say it, unfortunately, we're not going to have a top groove, I don't think, today. We might have a middle groove, but nothing really up top right now. I wonder if it's the handling of these Xfinity cars that have caused it, because these cars are generally tight. Mike Mondesi, the 6 cars come to pit road. The 32nd position there. So Falkingham has opened up a 7/10 of a second lead over Pedro Mojica. A little bit of defensive driving, I think, going on there. Back there near the 7 car. O'Rourke about 1.3 back, and then Donnie Leah and then Kevin Brown all within 2 seconds still. How about the run for David Comstock? He is quietly raised up to 4th, and then, into the wall goes the 51 of Fuller. Everybody scattering. So now the strategy comes in of when do you pit here? Because, again, we bring up the lap 13 part. We're completing lap 56 right now, so 43 laps on a tank of fuel for a lot of these cars. If they can get to the 40 to go mark, I think the window definitely opens up here to go the rest of the way on fuel. We saw Josh Adams already come to pit road. He actually just ran the fastest lap of the race. Randy Oakham behind this 3-wide battle with Brandon Key, who seems to have stalled out there at about the 18th position. And here we go, the first of the leaders coming to pit road right here. Fuller, Kevin Brown. And just a reminder, down at the bottom of the screen, you will see the pit stops of their times. The number that you see counting right now, that is the amount of delta on pit road. And where it says pit, that will eventually become a number, and that number will be the amount of time for their pit stop. As the 93 pulls into a stall in that Supra. The 51, the Mustang there into his stall, right side tires. Unfortunately, do not get the pit crews when it comes to the watching side of things here. Four tires and fuel, and Kevin Brown, a 14.8, pulls away. Fuller, 13.5. Good stop for the 51 team. Brandon Key, the next car on pit road. Of course, started in the back, so he's going to have one of the first pit stalls back there. Overshoots his pit stall just a little bit. And we'll see 4 tires and fuel here. Now, for you Mark Creighton fans, he has jumped back onto the track. He's 39th right now, 9 laps down. As I look, all but 4 cars now on track. So once again, when it comes to that gaming wheel that is being given away by the FEG group at the end of the season for the most laps ran, that gives you all the, as Mike Kelly locks it down and comes to pit road here, gives you all the 1, 2, and all to to run as many laps as you can. And 2-car 14.7 there. Nobody else really coming to pit road, so some early short pitting, as we'll call it. Donnie Leah right on cue. As I said, he comes to pit road. Eric Arnold, J.C. Windsor, Joey Jattina all coming to pit road here. 4 tires and fuel, and Leah pulls away at a 14.6. See Jared Edwards on pit road also, but the leader's still yet to pit here, so they're just trying to go as long as possible here on the tires, which makes things very interesting here because you see Josh Adams has actually gotten ahead of the leader now. And has got himself back onto the lead lap. Not to mention, let's look closely here because you see Falkingham is starting to fall back into the clutches of Pedro Mojica here. And what is easily the longest run of the race. Crumry, Woods, Ledford all on pit road now. You see the 29 car of Donnie Leah. He's going to come up and unlap himself here. Everybody tires and fuel for all these cars. Obviously, the guys who short pit, what you don't want's that yellow handkerchief out there. I'm going to take a chance here. I usually don't do this a lot because it turns into something bad, but with pit stops coming.
Okay, buddy.
Hey, Joey, he's going to follow you.
We're going to turn the microphone on here, let you hear the action, and see who all comes to pit road here. Be aware there could be some bombs dropped.
In this time.
There, that was Beasley saying he's going to pit this time.
Brian, when you catch me, I'm going to say hi.
I don't get to use the radio button much, so as you see, it kind of runs over into the map there, so I'm going to make that adjustment real quick as Beasley comes to pit road along with the 64.
Kevin passed me low.
Yeah, 4 cars pitting right here. 4 cars pitting.
Gillenwater calling his pit stop. Or Gillenwater, sorry. I keep calling him Gillenwater, and he's like, dude, it's Gillenwater. I'm like, my bad.
3 is pitting this time.
84 pitting.
Get on down here. Come on down.
There we go. I moved it down so you'll be able to see who's calling their pits out. But here we go. Cal and Tony. Here comes the leader, Falkingham, to pit road. Tommy Ryan.
I didn't step. I get.
Gillenwater. All these guys coming to pit road.
Pitting this time.
As here's the leader,
Pitting.
who has been the dominant driver today.
Pitting.
Four tires, fuel, good stop for him as he leaves. 14.7. More of the leaders to pit road. Mojica, EJ O'Rourke, Coleman, Comstock. Make sure you pay attention to the bottom. You'll see the pit stops for these drivers.
Jesus Christ.
And Donnie Leo with the first of
That's high, Donnie.
interesting things.
It's 7 pitting.
Again, that's a chance you take when you stream like this and you put audio on. O'Rourke 15 flat, looks like a 15-3 Mojica. 15-4 for Comstock, 15-4 also for Coleman as they all pull away. That leaves the lead to Sweeting, who comes to pit road now.
Get low here, Daniel.
That leaves, it looks like 4 cars now left to pit. Yoakum, Gonzalez, Woods, and Stenzel. As the Gator car comes to pit road.
Yeah, man.
Now you're going to see this lineup get very jumbled up here once these pit stops complete. As the way I'm seeing it right now, Kevin Brown is about to be the leader of this race when pit stops cycle through. As there goes Sweeting, a 14.8. So now we wait for the rest of the field to come to pit road. And there's your leader right now, old Speedy Gonzalez, who unfortunately had the first caution at lap 13.
48,
And now leading this race is here comes Randy Yoakum to pit road. And I want to jump out real quickly here. No disrespect to Yoakum, but I want to explain the situation here that's going on. Kevin Brown is going to be the leader once this race completes its pit stops. Kevin Brown has about a 2-second lead over Donnie Leah. However, you look back in the 7th position, Daniel Falkingham is about 7 seconds back. There is a 9-lap difference on tires between those two right now. So what I think Kevin needs to see here, because it looks like Daniel's catching him at a pretty good rate, is a caution probably in the next 5 to 10 laps. If he can get that, it'll bring everybody back to pit road, and for those especially who have tires left, be able to use a set potentially there to the end of this race. So this field is all mixed up. It's almost like we've stuck all the dice in the Yahtzee Cup.
Well, well.
Appreciate it.
As you hear the pass there as Falkingham goes by Kelly for
EJ, pass me the low.
the spot. Yeah, appreciate the viewers watching tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button.
Hitting right here, 20.
And a big shout out to our cameras, of course, at TrackCams 4 Gourmet. You can check them out online, trackcams22.com. Also on the iRacing forums and on Facebook. Has 29 laps to go. Gonzalez to pit road. Going to hand it to Stenzel. So 2 cars left to pit here. More tires and fuel for him. There's the 42. And Doy Woods back there behind him in a 28 car, and then Kevin Brown, I'll presume the lead here with 27 laps to go.
Thanks.
As Mojica gets by Key back here, that's for the 7th position right now. Just the 4 cautions early in this race. They all came back to back to back to back. Ever since then, we've had our longest green flag run now of about 45 laps. As Doy Woods going to bring the 28 to pit road and haul out of shape. So So one car left to pit now. And that's the 42 of Stenzel, who last pitted at lap 30 under one of the cautions here. So he can actually go another couple laps or so. He might just hold out there until he gets passed for the lead or gets what he wants. And I know exactly what he wants. That's why he's staying out there. Well, there's Kevin Brown. And then you're starting to see the battles shaping up for the third spot, as there is the 39 car back there behind the 29. That is catching the 93. Mike Kelly up to the 5th position right now. Mojica, Eidson, O'Rourke, and Key, and Coleman, your top 10 now. We got a nice little gaggle of cars here back at Tommy Ryan, Comstack, also Bob Gillenwater, and the 31 of Eric Arnold. You see Beasley back there also, as they all start to kind of catch the 56 of Josh Adams, who pitted early. So he's on the oldest tires out of the group here. Let's jump back to the front, because here we go. Falkingham is dispersed to the 29 and now looking for the 93. This would give him the lead once Stenzel comes to pit road. Stenzel's in now as Daniel goes to the lead. So 23 laps to go. The guy that has led the most laps tonight in the 39 car. In the lead of this race. Kevin Brown holding off Donnie Lear right now for second as they fight hard. Just looking over some of the numbers here from last season and from even the 2020 season. Daniel Falkingham collected 12 poles and 13 wins. And it looked like he's ready to pick up right where he left off last season, which ended up being a championship season for the 39 car, as he's pulled away to a 2-second advantage here as we'll come to 20 to go next time by. As these four continue to draft together. Again, we'll continue our West Coast trip, I should say, next week in Vegas, and then we go to Phoenix before what I'm guessing will be the brand new Atlanta Motor Speedway. When iRacing probably releases that. I have not seen any word on it, but I'm assuming it's coming before the race in March. I know I was reading some of the notes on the build that's coming, and holy, lots of things, including the new trucks that are coming. Justin Fuller to pit road here, lap 79. Unfortunately for him, his night has gone bad, as he's back, looks like 35th as he comes out of pit road. Battle for second continuing here. Leah trying to get to the quarter panel to slow up the 93. And Pedro Mujica going to join this battle. He says, hey, I want to be here too. As that pass happens here, look back here. Anthony Calantoni backing up that top 3 run in Daytona last week. Up to the 8th position. You're talking about Mr. Quiet. Oh, chops the nose of the 2. That almost went UGLY. By the end of tonight's race here, I'm pretty sure a lot of these drivers are going to be like, man, I wish they would go ahead and make the half mile out of this. Others are going to be like, yep, this was fun. Back here, Gonzalez making the pass on Windsor. Jose with some fresh tires. He's actually got some of the fresher tires out of the group here, so he's trying to make up as much time and as much pace as possible here. I mean, he's only, as I look up to the top 10, it's only about a 9-second separation from him in the top 10, so it's not within reason to think this 26 can't get up there and get a top 10 out of this, which would be a great comeback for him. Inside of Jatina here for the 14, or in the 14 car for 19th or 18th, or I can't talk all of a sudden. Looking at lap times right now, I mean, he's running pretty comparable laps to everybody. That time I ran a 43.21, which is actually 0.3 faster than the leader. That just shows you these new tires helping him out and also helping out Stenzo, who's back in 27th right now with the freshest tires. He's going to probably be able to nab some of these spots off before this race is over. They're going to go 2 for 1 here, passing Crumry and Josh Adams. Guys have started to spread themselves out here where Tommy Ryan and Gillen Water and all these guys are. You see that first battle, that's the 4 of Gillen Water right there. Trying to make the pass on Mike Kelly for 10th. Up front, Daniel still with a 3-second lead over Pedro Mujica. Tommy Ryan joined the battle. He gets past the 2, also 4 positions. So unfortunately for Mike, he has fallen back a little bit. That short pitch strategy at lap 59 kind of biting him right now. He was obviously trying to play the yellow game, I think, himself. Battle here for 3rd is the Daytona winner, E.J. O'Rourke, outside of Donnie Leah. Leah shutting the door on him, sliding up in front of him. I think we know what Dale Jr. would call that. O'Rourke going to complete the pass. Well, for now, Leah's going to fight back on the high side here. Kevin Brown kind of hanging there just in case something were to go on. You see back behind him, Coleman and Eidson and Calantoni. They're all here within about 2 seconds of each other. One thing about a fixed setup series is really this time Donnie knocks the wall down. But one thing I was starting to say is with the way... Oh, contact with the 93 and 29. When you have a fixed setup series, what I was starting to say, it just shows you what the close racing you get out of these cars. These guys are racing tight. Oh, more contact. Leah into the wall hard. Chad Coleman checks up. The 7 checks up. Everybody okay? Oh, there's going to be some angry now. Some angry drivers. Coleman and Leah getting the worst of that as Eidson and Calantoni moves up to 5th now. Couldn't tell if there was actual contact there or if the net code led to it, which is another thing that iRacing is working on for the next build. Let's go back to this real quick. It's going to happen in turn 1 and 2, so they're going to stay side by side, very tight on the front straightaway here. There's one particular camera that always works when it comes to netcode. Now that one right there. Oh, it's 2 actually. Rear chase works also. So plenty of room, about a car length of space. 29 comes down. Oh no, they touch. All right, yeah, they definitely hit each other. Nice job by Chad Coleman to miss that. Even the 7 there, nice job checking up. I talked about the cars battling with each other. Look at this. Gonzalez actually getting passed by Wertman in the 74. Wertman running a Morgan Shepherd-like theme. The Racing with Jesus car. Wertman actually got to, I think, race with or work with Morgan for a little bit there. So that's really cool to see, and cool to see Wertman out there on track. Out here, look at this. All of a sudden, the pack has come back together. Calantoni once more. Kevin Brown up here, about 2/10 up for 4th. Coleman, Eidson, Comstock, all these guys within a group now. See the 84 to the inside. Tell you what, I shared this last week. Calantoni in the Super Speedway Series, I think he wrecked in every race. I could be wrong, and I apologize if I am wrong, but I think he was involved in a wreck in every race. And to see him have the run he had last week in Daytona at the top 3, and now he's battling for 4th here at Auto Club, shout out to him, man. Great job. Because I know if I wrecked in every race, I'd be pretty darn ticked off, and my confidence would be gone. Oh, wait, I do anyway. '84 up to 4th. Nearly 70 laps of a run here. And the top 10 separated by 10 seconds. You see a little bit of damage on the NOS Energy number 38 there. That sun playing a little bit of a role, I've noticed there all of a sudden. Not terrible, but could be worse. There's Eidson going to the apron a little bit. I talked about that a while back. Inside of Kevin. And the 7 also sliding in front of Eidson, so Kevin just trying to hold on to a top 10 finish. Giving a little push to the 7 car down the straightaway. And there are battles everywhere on this track. We got this fight here. I'm going to take you back to all the battles. We got this one here. Got Beasley and these guys all fighting. And then let's jump all the way back here to 22nd. These guys are fighting. Charles Woods, haven't said his name all night. And battles everywhere. That's what's great about Auto Club. I mean, I've not had the best success here, but enjoyed racing here. Two laps to go. Beasley passing Arnold back here for the 13th position as these guys continue to fight. And there's Gonzalez back there. Unfortunately, the tires are going to run out on him, I think. And he's not going to be able to get back to the top 10, but a valiant effort back to the top 15 at least. Donnie Elias falling all the way back to 11th after the contact with the 39, or with the 93, sorry. As we hit the white flag, final lap from California. Daniel 3.5 seconds over Pedro Mojica. Got about 5.4 over EJ O'Rourke. And what is going to be a dominant effort for the 39. And just like real life, Kyle Larson, the champ with the victory lane. Tonight, the champ goes back to victory lane. First time this season, it's Fockingham at Auto Club. In the war for the top 5, Calantoni, Coleman, Eidson, Comstock, Tommy Ryan gets by the 93 for 8th, and Gillenwater going to get a top 10. And if I see this number correctly, I've still got somebody just, oh, look at that. Hey, a rim rider. Comstock with an impressive Tony Hawk maneuver. And if I see the numbers correctly, according to the SimRacer Hub website, and I got to check with Jatina to make sure this is accurate, this would be Daniel's 15th career Xfinity Series win on one of the widest tracks in racing, and he still hits the wall in a burnout. That's what happens when I hurry up and type at the same time. I can't use the number 1. I use the exclamation point. Yes, I pick on myself a lot for my typing. So a race that looked like might get ugly for a little bit after 4 cautions in about a 13-lap period. We go clean and green the last 35 or so laps of this race. Let's take a look at the results. A 3.5-second win by Falkingham over Mojica. E.J. O'Rourke backs up his Daytona win with a 3rd-place run. Anthony Calantoni finishes in the 4th position. Chad Coleman gets himself a top 5. Trey Eidson 6th. David Comstock 7th. Tommy Ryan 8th. Kevin Brown, Bob Gillenwater, your top 10. Donnie Leah, probably going to be disappointed with that 11th place finish for him. 12th going to Mike Kelly, Eric Arnold 13th, Richard Beasley 14th, Jose Gonzalez gets a top 15. Brandon Key worked his way through the field and kind of stalled out there in the 16th position. Chuck Sweeting 17th, J.C. Windsor 18th, Joey Jatina, who pretty much at the last second said, I'm showing up. Jatina finishes 19th. Jimmy Coleman 20th, Scott Stenzel 21st, Charles Woods 22nd, Jeff Ryan finishing in 23rd, Josh Adams 24th, Doy Woods 25th, 26th going to Randy Yoakum, 27th to Mike Mondesi, Michael Priester 28th, Gerald Livingston 29th. A lot of these guys had issues in the race. Brian Wortman first one a lap down in 30th, Justin Fuller 31st, Scott Simley 32nd, Michael Ledford 33rd, 34th to Ron Holyfield, 35th John Fowler, 36th to Ted Hutchinson, 37th Paul Crumride, 38th Jarrett Edwards, 39th to Mark Creighton, 40th Steve Ritter, 41st Josh Parker, 42nd to Bobby Wetzel, and 43rd, unfortunately, last for a 2nd straight week, I believe, Chris Jabot in the 5 car. But first, we're going to talk with our top 3 finishers and a great bounce back for our 2nd place finisher. But first, we're going to talk to the 3rd place finisher tonight, and that is the winner from Daytona last week, E.J. O'Rourke. Way to bounce back and continue, my man. I know sometimes in racing it seems like the Daytona winner struggles the rest of the way, but what a way to just kind of slowly matriculate your way up to a 3rd place run and 2 top 3s in 2 races.
I tell you what, Chris, this personal comfort Camaro was really fast today. Didn't qualify too well, but apparently it didn't really matter. I was able to cut through the field and got right up there.
Yeah, I was going to say, talk about the racing, because obviously the first, 35 laps was obviously tight amongst the group because of the cautions and things. And then even after that, up until that pit stop, I mean, it was almost like a draft race for a while, and it was hard to get track position.
Yeah, for the beginning part of the run, it's more of a kind of a draft lock. But once the tires start wearing and the driver comes into it a little bit and who save their stuff comes in, it makes a big difference. And I was just kind of sitting back there, 9th, 10th, 8th, whatever, and started picking them off and cut right through to 3rd.
And a great top 3. I know that's got to be pretty big going to Las Vegas next week.
Yeah, absolutely. This personal comfort team looks to do a little Las Vegas winning, hopefully, but we'll see. Starting off with winning Daytona last week and 3rd place here, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, 2 top 3s to finish off. We'll see if you can roll a 41 at the table next week and go 3 for 3, man. Shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I appreciate you guys for broadcasting and 500, and just got to thank Scott Stenzel and everyone at Personal Comfort. Appreciate them jumping on board this Camaro, and it's a good run for us, the Gary Mercer Trucking's home track too. And just got to thank everyone and Trey for painting this cool car, and Scott and Fuller and all the rest of my teammates. It was a fun race. I'm glad to be up there.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job tonight. Congratulations on your top 3 tonight.
I appreciate it. Congrats to Daniel too. The kid was flying.
Yeah, he was. And you were too. So great job on your part. Finishing in 3rd, that is E.J. O'Rourke. And let's bring up our 2nd place finisher tonight, Pedro Mojica, who bounces back from his rough race at Daytona. And Pedro, I've already made a note to myself never to talk to you before a race again, because apparently I was the bad luck last week. Great comeback for you to finish 2nd tonight.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, last week was a bummer, especially for how early in the race that happened. Mm-hmm. But yeah, to come back this week, I mean, I like California. Car's hard to drive. Setup was a challenge for sure. It was really, really tight on the long run. And even though I really hate tight setups, I seem to do pretty good with them. So just trying to manage the right front and didn't do too good in qualifying. So I kind of had to work my way through the field methodically. and got myself in position there at the end of the race. Thought I had something for Daniel. Try to pit a lap later, hoping that one lap tires would kind of help out, and didn't really work out in that favor. I mean, he did really good on pit road too. He gained about a second and a half on me on pit road, so that didn't help my case. But yeah, I mean, we were able to get up to second and hold second there, and we were there,
Right.
So that's all you can ask for, I guess. So get so happy with performance, happy overall with everything, and yeah, nice second place finish, like you said, a rebound from a terrible finish last week.
Yeah, great rebound for you finishing in the second spot. You mentioned the tight cars. I'm guessing that played a role, obviously, in the way you race this track tonight, because I know we saw the 7 car go up there right at the end of the stage, right around lap 50, and it just seemed like he just went backwards with it. It just seemed like what we thought would be a spread-out race on this track didn't spread out as much.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like the way the setup was, you really had to manage the first 10 laps and how you drove it. And if you didn't do a good job, you burn the right front right off of it. And then yeah, like you saw there, the last half of the run before we all pitted, a lot of people fell back, pretty far back, because they burned their stuff up. So yeah, so that you had to manage that right through the race and make sure not to overcook it,
Right.
but be had to stay up there though, because track position is so important. The clean air really helped with the tires. So the more further up front you could be, the better it was on your tires, but then also managing the tires. So that's a fine balance. And this race was showed that.
Well, great job tonight, man. Finishing in the second position. Shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, first appreciate you doing the broadcast, Chris. Hope we put on a good show for you. Everybody at 7500 who runs this league. I know Jimmy does a Sunday deal. Jimmy Coleman, he does a great job adminning the series and racing. So give him props for that. And then yeah, just all the admins at 7500 for what they do. Appreciate what they do. Everybody at the team name. We like I say it all the time, man. Fun group to race with. We're all real competitive, so it's interesting, but we all have a good time with it, and we help each other out and race each other hard and have fun with it. So that's all cool. And then the sponsors on the car, V Performance Academy, for help. Thanks for their support, and to Michael Sharp. That's his deal there. So just racing for Michael Sharp. Hope he's doing okay. Hope everything's great, man. And yeah, glad to put on a good show for you. And then Trey Edson for painting the car. Does a great job painting, man. The cars look sharp, so appreciate him for that. And yeah, no, appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad you said his name once, so now I know how to say his name properly. Congratulations on finishing in the second position.
Thanks.
You too, bud. That is Pedro Mujica finishing second position, and of course that leaves us with the winner of tonight's race. And that, of course, Daniel Falkingham, who I guess if anything, he broke the streak of, or if there was any kind of a broadcaster's jinx of talking to somebody before the race and ruining his night, it did not work on Daniel, as he goes to victory lane tonight for the first time this season. 14 wins last season, so obviously the momentum continues for you, champ, as you pick up right where you left off last season.
Yeah, for sure. Glad to have a pretty smooth race like that. I know we had a rough start with all the cautions and stuff, but thankfully we got a good long green flag run in that race, and we were able to show our really true pace, our true long run pace, which I feel pretty good on. Just think that run before we made our green flag pit stop, I burned the right front off of it a little too much, but then it took way better care of it on the second run, because I knew I was going to have a big lead over Pedro, because I just got on and off pit road really well, and I had a really fast pit stop, so I knew I could manage my stuff, because I knew I was going to run down the guys who had already pitted. So just had to take my time, take care of my right front, and then just cruise on our way to victory, and we did just that.
Yeah, you did a great job tonight and dominating this race. Of course, the only laps you really didn't lead were during pit stops and during the green flag racing early, which turned into kind of a draft race, which did not make it easy for you.
Yeah, I was surprised how strong the draft is here, and plus with the multiple different lanes, I know Fuller ripped the high side one lap on one of the restarts and had a big run on me, but then a yellow came out. He probably was going to pass me there. So I got lucky with a few cautions, and I just wanted to race my own race, run my own line, and I knew we were going to be just fine, I feel like. So thankfully it all worked out in the end, and we were able to bring a win. So a good way to kick off the year after our pretty bad week last week.
Absolutely, man. Good bounce back for you, getting the lead, and go ahead and notching that win, get that out of the way for the season, and continue momentum in Las Vegas. Your chance to shout out to whoever you like to.
Yes, got to thank First Rate Bailoff 207 and also my brand new sponsor, January 31st. I got to thank Joey, all the admins who run the show, Sim 500. Thanks to everyone who races each and every week. Got to thank FEG Ford Entertainment Group for sponsoring the series for all they do. I got to thank Team Name, Chad Coleman, David Comstock, Josh Parker, Richard Beasley, Kevin Brown, Pedro Mojica, and Doy Woods. And also got to thank everyone at North Force Racing, Presley Gilson, and everyone over there. Just getting into the road to pro season. Had an unfortunate race Thursday, but hopefully we can bounce back out of that. But I appreciate all those guys for all their support. And also got to thank you for putting on the broadcast. Thanks, special shout out to Cosman, Splash Go Graphics for painting this beautiful car for me. And thanks to all the fans who watched us each and every week. And thanks to friends and family for all they do.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. Daniel Falkingham, the winner tonight here in Auto Club, or Fontana, California at Auto Club Speedway. So congratulations to him on getting the win here this evening. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to all the guys. Fun race for them. And we'll make a note and get ready for Las Vegas next week. We'll continue our little West Coast trip. I might take my car on that little drag strip there on the backstretch. It should be a lot of fun. But, yeah, Vegas next week at 8:45. We'll be ready for you next Sunday night from the mile-and-a-half track. That is going to be a pretty fun one. It always puts on a pretty good form of racing. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. So, congratulations to Daniel on getting the win. We're out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!